Get ready, sports fans. We've got breaking news heating up the courts and the draft boards. The New York Knicks are facing off against the Indiana Pacers in a massive showdown, but with key players sidelined, who's stepping up? Meanwhile, Coach Mike Brown is calling out his Knicks for glaring issues that need fixing now. He's frustrated, and he's not holding back. And that's not all. We're diving deep into the Pacers-Knicks rivalry and uncovering critical betting insights that you won't want to miss. Plus, a shock injury rocks the Knicks just before a crucial game. Stay locked in because you're watching news. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell.
Looking for a fast-charging, ultra-responsive stylus for your iPad? Meet the 2X Fast Charge Active Stylus Pen, designed for 2018 to 2025 Apple iPads. Take your creativity and productivity to the next level. Click the link in the video description to shop now on Amazon.
The hardwood is set for a high-stakes Eastern Conference clash, as the New York Knicks prepare to host the Indiana Pacers on March 17, 2026. This game carries significant weight, especially with both teams battling injuries. The Knicks, known for their defensive prowess, are facing a major shakeup as star point guard Jalen Brunson is now doubtful with an ankle injury, just days after he torched the Pacers for 29 points. His potential absence thrusts a heavy offensive load onto players like Karl-Anthony Towns, OG Anunoby, and Mikal Bridges. The Pacers, meanwhile, are struggling, mired in a 13-game losing streak and potentially without their leading scorer, Pascal Siakam, due to a knee sprain. Oddsmakers have installed the Knicks as significant home favorites, with the spread moving from -17.5 to -14.5 following the news of Brunson's injury. The total has also seen a dip, moving from 225.5 down to 221.5, signaling expectations for a more defensive, grind-it-out affair. Despite laying a large number, the Knicks' staunch defense and rebounding advantage are expected to exploit a struggling Pacers team that has faltered against winning teams. The under is also a strong consideration, given both teams' offensive struggles with key players out and New York's stingy defense. Fans are buzzing about the potential impact of these absences on player props, with Karl-Anthony Towns expected to dominate the boards and Andrew Nembhard potentially seeing increased scoring opportunities for the Pacers. Will the Knicks' depth shine through, or will the Pacers pull off an upset against the odds? Stick around as we break down Coach Mike Brown's latest frustrations with the Knicks' focus and physicality. New York Knicks head coach Mike Brown is expressing serious concerns about his team's focus and physicality, even in the wake of a victory over the Golden State Warriors. Despite securing a 110-107 win, Brown was visibly frustrated, stating he shouldn't have to call multiple timeouts within the first 6 minutes of a game for a veteran squad. This indicates a recurring issue with the team's mental preparedness and execution from the opening tip. He opted not to name a defensive player of the game, emphasizing that the team's focus and physicality have been unacceptable in 4 of their last 5 contests. The Knicks have a history of lineup adjustments, having previously shifted to starting Mitchell Robinson over Josh Hart in the 2025 Eastern Conference Finals. However, Brown is not currently considering a lineup change, though he hasn't ruled out the possibility, stating it's not too late to do anything. He stressed that individual players and the entire locker room expect more from themselves. A particularly noteworthy decision is Coach Brown's tendency to bench Mikal Bridges during crucial crunch time minutes, even in a game where Bridges was a starter. This strategic choice, leaving Bridges on the sidelines for the final 7 minutes against the Warriors, raises questions about his role and the team's offensive strategy, especially considering his significant contract extension. Despite the team's impressive turnaround and acquisition of key players like Brunson, Towns, and Anunoby, questions linger about Bridges' integration and performance in critical moments. Is Coach Brown's tough love the key to unlocking the Knicks' full potential, or is he creating locker room friction? We're heading to the next story, where the Pacers and Knicks are set for another intense matchup, but this time with a mountain of injury concerns. The stage is set for a familiar, yet injury-plagued, showdown between the New York Knicks and the Indiana Pacers on March 17, 2026, at Madison Square Garden. This matchup carries the weight of their contentious 2025 Eastern Conference Finals history, even as the Pacers languish at the bottom of the East with a 15-53 record. All three previous contests this season have been decided by fewer than 10 points, hinting at competitive battles despite the standings. However, a staggering number of injuries plague both sides. The Knicks are likely without Jalen Brunson, doubtful with ankle and neck injuries, and Miles McBride out, with Mitchell Robinson, questionable, also on the injury report. The Pacers' list is even longer, featuring numerous questionable players and key absences like Tyrese Haliburton and Pascal Siakam. Given the Pacers' extensive injury woes and their strategic incentive to lose as much as possible to protect their first-round draft pick, the Knicks are heavy 14.5-point favorites. While the Knicks have been peaking, going 19-7 since a January slump, their offensive rating reportedly drops significantly without Brunson. However, their defense reportedly improves. The Pacers, on the other hand, have been outscored by a considerable margin when Siakam is off the floor. Key matchups will likely revolve around interior play and rebounding, where the Knicks hold a significant advantage. The Pacers' struggles in allowing shots in the restricted area and their poor overall rebounding numbers are stark contrasts to the Knicks' top-ranked rebounding. Despite the Pacers' perimeter defense, Indiana's subpar three-point shooting percentage could neutralize any advantage. Ultimately, the Knicks' defensive strength, especially with Brunson potentially sidelined, is seen as the most reliable bet, despite the large point spread. Can the Knicks' defense overcome the offensive void left by Jalen Brunson? Get ready, because we're covering a surprising injury update that could impact the Knicks lineup tonight. The New York Knicks are facing a significant blow, as star guard Jalen Brunson has officially been ruled out for their upcoming game against the Indiana Pacers. This news comes as the Knicks, currently third in the Eastern Conference at 44-25, have struggled in their recent wins, needing rallies against the Jazz and close victories over the Pacers and Warriors. Brunson was initially listed as questionable with right ankle management and a cervical strain, but was later downgraded to doubtful and ultimately ruled out. While this is a major loss, the timing is somewhat fortunate, as the Pacers are in the midst of a brutal 13-game losing streak and hold a 15-53 record, making them a more manageable opponent even without their primary playmaker. Mitchell Robinson, however, is expected to play despite dealing with back tightness. In Brunson's absence, Jose Alvarado is set to step into the starting lineup. This marks an interesting opportunity for Alvarado, who has been a defensive energy player but has struggled with his shooting. The Knicks' starting five is expected to be Alvarado, Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, Josh Hart, and Karl-Anthony Towns. Coach Mike Brown has been vocal about his frustration with the team's slow starts and lack of consistent focus, but has so far refrained from making lineup changes, preferring to address it internally. Brunson's injury, however, forces a change at the point guard position. Alvarado's starting role comes at a critical juncture, offering him a chance to regain his early season scoring form. His explosive debut, where he made NBA history with 26 points, 8 threes, and 5 steals, is a reminder of his potential. With Brunson out, the focus shifts to how this group, and particularly Alvarado, will respond. Will Jose Alvarado seize this opportunity and deliver a standout performance for the Knicks? Don't go anywhere. We're about to wrap up all the top stories with a lightning round recap. All right, sports fans, that's a wrap on another packed news update. We saw the Knicks and Pacers gearing up for a huge matchup, but injuries are shaking things up for both squads. Coach Mike Brown is demanding more focus and physicality from his Knicks, even after a win. We broke down the betting insights for the Pacers-Knicks game, highlighting key player props and trends. And finally, the Knicks received a blow with Jalen Brunson ruled out against the Pacers. Don't miss a single play. Hit that like button, subscribe to news for all your daily sports breakdowns, and ring that notification bell so you're always in the know. Let us know your biggest takeaways in the comments below, and follow us on all our social channels for exclusive content and real-time updates.